Hey everybody, welcome back to the 6th round post-fight show with me, Zane Simon, my co-host, as always, Eddie Mercado, coming to y'all from the end
Hey.
of UFC 323 going down in Las Vegas, Nevada at the T-Mobile Arena. And man, what a fucking way to wrap the pay-per-view era, man.
No shit. This was a fucking banger.
This was
Wow.
a real top. I knew when I was looking at this, and they only had one fight above bantamweight on the main card, I was like, this is going to be awesome. Like, we are going to actually have great fights. And even the fights were so good that even having what may have been an early stoppage and what was an absolutely brutal arm injury wreck a title fight, a fight that I literally was going into being like, man, there's no way I could lose from Joshua Van, Alexandre Pantoja. Like, I
Sure.
love watching both these guys. They're both super fun action fighters. I don't care who wins. This is gonna be awesome no matter what. Real killer, real downer. I am still coming out of this thing just absolutely hyped
Mm-hmm.
because that main event was fucking amazing.
Yeah, and I see you treated us to your Aztec sweater.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice
yeah.
touch there. Gotta love it.
Got
No,
it, you
this
know.
was fantastic. I
This
mean,
was
aside from the gruesome injury, but like it kind of adds to like the card having a little bit of everything, like a
yeah,
draw, a gruesome
exactly.
break, early stoppage, banger of a main event.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you
Two
come out
titles
of
change hands.
and you come out of a card like that, you need the little bit of disappointment, you need the little bit of weirdness, because then you come out and you're just like, I saw everything. Tonight,
Yeah.
every fucking thing happened. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. Honestly. Perfect way for a card to go.
Even the prelims delivered.
Yeah.
Got
Everything
some
delivered.
absolute brawls, quick finishes. I
Yep.
mean,
This was just a rad card, top to bottom. And man, I did not for 1 minute going in this week imagine that Piotr Jan would be getting his hand raised and the belt around his waist. I especially did not imagine it if he did not just catch Merab with like one or two big shots and put him away. I hate
mhm.
see, I could see a way that Jan would get the title back with just like, oh, he hit an uppercut, Merab crumbled, can you believe it? But like, to go out and execute, I scored this fight 50-45, Jan.
I gave the first round to Marab, but I have no issues if it was 50-45. 48-47 is ludicrous.
48-47 is ludicrous. The reality is that Merab Dvalishvili did a lot of stuff in this fight. Piotr Jan did a lot of damage in this fight.
Right.
Every single round, if you're asking yourself first and foremost, who did the damage in that round? Who had the big moments that landed the damaging shots? The answer in every single round was Piotr Jan.
That's fair. That's
You
definitely
know,
fair.
because
And
even
I definitely picked Marab here, right? Most
oh
people
yeah, yeah,
did.
everybody did. Anybody with
But
sense.
like I think it was really easy to forget just how great Peter Yan is.
Well, and
Because like his record 20
yeah,
and 5 now, right? But he could be 24-1,
oh
right?
yeah,
I don't think he lost to Magomedov. That DQ of Aljo shouldn't have been a DQ. He definitely didn't lose the rematch to Aljo. I don't think he lost to Sean O'Malley. He
yeah.
lost to Marab, and that was it.
And the reason really was, I think that a lot of people, myself included, yourself included, were picking against Jan here. Is that loss to Marab? I mean, the loss to Aljo, you could tell that really pissed Piotr Jan off. Both the losses to Aljo,
Mhm.
those were severely demoralizing, angering losses. And to chase that with the Sean O'Malley fight and then the Marab fight, after those series of fights, that 2021 to 2023 stretch, Petr Yan did not feel like the same fighter. He felt like a guy who was out there struggling to, like, he was still an elite fighter. He still beat Song Yadong. He still beat Davison Figueiredo. He still beat Marcus McGee, but he didn't feel like somebody who was going out and just dominating people and just punishing them and finding all the ways to take advantage of their mistakes, finding ways to break people and hurt people. He felt like a guy who was kind of like, shit, my best wasn't good enough. I can't win a title in this division. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. And so when he gets his rematch, it's kind of like, okay, what's Petr Yan gonna do against Merab the second time?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get wrestled all the time. We saw how badly that demoralized him the first time. He can fight it off, but how is he gonna do damage if he's fighting off wrestling all the time?
Mm-hmm.
And
maybe that's like, I think maybe if Merab strictly wrestled this whole time and didn't try to stand at all, so maybe it's a little bit of maybe two things. The first one being Merab falling in love with his hands, trying to be more exciting, trying to, play with his new tools, so to speak. And the other thing is, this is his fourth fight this year.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
that's tough.
a lot. That's a lot. He put a lot of pressure on himself, and that's pressure. You can tell too. That's pressure that, I mean, it's, the UFC's happy. They're not going to be like, oh, slow down, Merab.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pressure that Merab puts on himself, that he's like, no, I want to fight again. I want to fight again. I'm ready. Let's go. That's his attitude. That's his whole thing. And yeah, he might have overdid it. But I will say, yes, I think I'm incredibly impressed by Yan. And I think he showed up huge in this fight. You could see a couple of big adjustments he made. One was Yan has always been good about attacking the hands and attacking the grip from the rear waist cinch. Mm-hmm. In this fight, he was attacking hard and fast, and he was turning every rear waist give up to Merab into a clinch win for him, where he would break that grip, turn Merab into the fence as he broke it, and then break the exchange with strikes.
Yeah. So that, or enter in for his own takedown.
Yeah. Or enter in for his own takedown, because it was, and that was a huge adjustment he made, because he was hard to take down in the first fight already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he didn't, it's not like his wrestling defense really needed upgrading, but his ability to turn wrestling defense into instant offense was a huge factor here. And then the other thing I will say is, yeah, I think Merab kind of Colby Covington'd himself. He got into that, like, well, if pressure and volume is what wins you fights, then it doesn't matter how well you choose your strikes. You just got to throw a lot of them. And that is true against a lot of fighters, but Yan is one of the rare, like, boxing craftsmen in MMA.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Buffer announces him as a boxer.
Yeah. And you could see early on, like, Merab is getting Yan is getting a little overwhelmed by Merab's pressure and attack, and Merab's landing big shots early. You're like, oh man, is Merab, like, is he gonna go out there with his hands and, like, turn this on, beat Yan standing? And after a couple minutes, you could see Yan get his timing, and suddenly it's Merab throwing a lot of stuff that glances off of Yan's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Or glances off a shoulder, or glances off the side of his head. And then it's Yan already deep in the pocket, countering with much cleaner, much harder shots. And that became the narrative.
Man, his Yan, he just has such ingrained technical instincts.
Yeah.
So where it's like he's not thinking out there. Like he'll think when the fight starts, right? When he's getting his reads, like you're talking about. But like when the sequences are actually happening, everything's so automatic for him. Like it is poetry in motion, not to use a nasty cliche like that, but it is so gorgeous. I was blown away.
Yeah,
and someone in the comments was talking about Yan saying he was injured. And
Yeah, I
so
mean, Jan has been injured for most of his career. Here, we'll just put it up there. Jan has shoulder injury. Yeah, and that I'm not gonna. I mean, every MMA fighter is injured all the time, unless it's TJ Dillashaw. My arm fell out of the socket the moment I entered the ring because we had it scotch taped up together to get through medicals. I'm always going to take an injury narrative with a grain of salt because every fighter trains injured, every fighter fights injured. I have heard, as well, beyond even the shoulder injury, that Jan has been battling injuries severely for years. But whatever the case, right now, this was a perfect performance from him. Just
masterful.
wall to wall, bell to bell. That takedown, that slam he hit on Merab, dropped
Right
him
on
on
his
his
head.
face. God, that was brutal. Just everything about this fight was so good.
Dude,
So perfect.
he was on straight demon time from the
Yeah.
southpaw stance. Those body shots, the kicks, the punches, and I'd say something else. In the third round, right, the first body kick that Jan landed, Merab yelled out.
Yeah.
That could be a verbal tap. I'm just
It
saying that
Hey,
could be a
letter
verbal
of the
tap.
law. Letter of the law. You scream in a fight, I would say from a single strike, most referees, you should let that go. It's usually you want to pay attention to the screams when somebody's in a submission and they're
Yeah, right.
refusing to tap and they start yelling. That's usually
Yeah.
like,
I'm just being a jerk.
no, but it is true. Like, to hit somebody like that, I mean, because you got to think, like, how often do you ever see a fighter get hit so hard they scream? Never happens.
Usually the only time that really happens, they end up going fetal position and cover up.
Yeah.
That's usually like it, and it's clearly over. But I mean, Jan was great, but Merab did really well too. Like this was
Oh yeah.
such a high level MMA fight, like the
Yeah.
highest level MMA fight.
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is not a wholly different fight than Merab put on Jan the first time. He didn't, like I said, that fight too. I mean, yeah, I got to pull up my stats. I forgot to.
yeah, Merab actually landed more.
Yeah, I mean, he landed more in this fight. In their first fight, he landed more in their first fight. Yeah, and he's
He
credited
landed more
with,
in this fight.
oh, is total. Let's see, maybe my stats. No, I have it. I see him landing more in the first one, but
I thought he landed more in both.
no, he landed 147 significant strikes in the first one and 134 in the second. So
I'm talking in relation to Jan.
what? Wait,
Like he
Jan
landed. No. Merab landed more strikes than Jan did in this fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. More total, yes. Not significant, but more total. Credited. But he hit 11 takedowns in the first fight, but that was 11 of 49. Like and he only got 7 minutes of control in a 25-minute fight off 11 takedowns. So most of those takedowns he was hitting in the first fight were down and right back up. It's not like the first fight was Merab Dvalishvili just taking Jan down and holding him down. Well, it was a lot of stuff like this fight. Like I say, it's a lot of what made this different is those body lock situations that they would get into. Like in the first fight, Jan might break the grip or hot limp leg to the fence, but he wouldn't be able to switch and change the position so that Merab could just chain wrestle more and more. In this fight, every time he would defend a takedown, he was breaking the position so that he had the instant positional advantage. And that really turned Merab's wrestling against him.
It was so clean.
It really was.
Maybe his best performance ever.
Yeah.
At least without a finish.
No, yeah. I think if you're talking a complete wall-to-wall, end-to-end fight, I can't think of a better, and at the level that it's at. Because, like, you could be like, oh, yeah, he really beat the brakes off, Uriah Faber for 3 minutes, or
Right.
beat Jose Aldo over 5 rounds. But beating Merab like this in his prime is just amazing. Like, yeah.
I was happily surprised. I've never been more happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
This was fan. I've always liked Jan. I always appreciated how great he was everywhere. But like I said, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. We got a question
Shame on
here.
me.
If Sean beats his Yadong, are they going to do Rocky IV tribute on the White House card with Sean versus Jan?
Oh man. It's not what I want to see next, but I guess.
Yeah. I
You know
mean,
what I want to see next.
you want to see Jan versus Nurmagomedov, or
No.
no?
Come
Jan
on
versus
now.
Batista?
Fuck out of here. Jan versus Al Zahabi.
Oh yeah, of
Come
course.
on now.
Of course.
Let's make that happen. That needs to happen. Merab needs a break. Honestly, I think let Jan fight Zahabi, and after that, let Jan fight Merab again.
I mean, here's the thing. Petr Yan winning this fight, it blows that division wide open in terms of title shot potential. Like,
you gotta do a rematch quickly. In my opinion, Merab's earned it.
Merab has earned a rematch. He should get one. Umar is right back in the hunt for a title shot. I mean, he was going to be in the hunt for a rematch with Dvalishvili if he beats Figueiredo. Sean O'Malley, he's got that controversial first fight with Petr Yan, so this puts him right back in the title picture. And then Song Yadong is, if he beats Sean O'Malley, that gives him a good shot.
Zahabi's the guy.
Zahabi is your guy. I know.
I don't care what anyone says. Zahabi needs that shit. He's the guy.
He's the old man that we all want to see get his chance at greatness. So, no matter what, though, like I've been enjoying the Merab era, but the title picture did just become a hell of a lot more interesting for the next year.
Yeah, I'm man, best case scenario, to be quite honest.
No, and that's the thing, is that I came into this fight too being like, I like Merab. I expect him to win, but God, I hope Jan wins this fight, because that would just be the best. I mean, every Petr Yan fight, even when he's at his least impressive, is an absolute thriller. Like, there is no such thing as a Petr Yan fight where you're like, man, I don't know that I want to watch Petr Yan right now. Like, no, I want to see it.
You know what I want to see? He needs to be in the pound for pound rankings as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he's going to be after this. No question.
He is just so complete. Man, great time to be alive.
Yeah. And for Merab, well, let's see. I mean, he could get an instant rematch. There's a lot of options.
No, not instant rematch. He needs to take some time off. He just fought 4 times in a calendar year. He needs to heal, rest. Meantime, Zahabi. After that, let them rematch.
If he does fight again soon, though, and he doesn't get the instant rematch, because there's a lot of other people in line.
You could do the Umar rematch.
You could do an Umar rematch. Umar's already fighting Figueiredo, so that's not no kind of sure thing that would be available. That would probably be the most sensible instant.
It's got to be, because he's already beat most of the guys.
Yeah. Somebody else saying if Merab takes a fight in between, I want him to fight Barcelos. Look, as president of the Hani Barcelos fan club, I also want that, but my man's never getting that kind of love. It's never going to happen. I've resigned myself to that fact. He's not even a ranked bantamweight for the UFC right now.
Yeah,
All right.
well, Cejudo's out, so there's
Yeah,
room.
there's a vacancy. You're right. Put my man Hani in. Votes for Hani. All right. That brings us to our co-main event. Joshua Van, Alexandre Pantoja, the tragedy on the card. Warming up to be a barn burner. Pantoja came out angry, came out with a point to prove very clearly. Was starting fast, going after Van, throwing all the wild shit. And somewhere out there, there is a first-year judo coach who is screaming at Alexandre Pantoja right now. Because, man, what do you do when you're about to get thrown to the ground? You never
You
post
you
on
do a
your
break
arm.
fall.
Yeah.
It's funny because my roommate over the summer, I brought him to jujitsu, right? So he got a couple months of jujitsu in, and after it happened, he was in the kitchen. I was like, dude, the fucking dude caught the head kick and like threw him, and and he posted, and instantly my roommate's like, you never post, you
Never
never
post.
post. White belt, 3 months. He
That's
knew
what I'm
better.
saying. Is there's some white belt jujitsu or judo coach out there just going,
This
we
is
covered this.
I instantly had a
You know.
flashback of Shogun versus Mark Coleman
Mhm.
in Pride. Not
Yes,
not exactly the same, but
that was a debate
Shogun
for
posted.
years whether that was a fluke or whether Coleman deserved the full credit for initiating. You know,
The takedown. Yeah, so
yeah,
this is not a fluke. This is the
no,
perfect counter to a head kick.
it
I
is.
gotta say, and anything can happen in a fight.
Yep.
And I would much rather be lucky than good any day.
Hey,
You
and I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
the thing
Not
is
saying
that
Van's not good. I love
yeah, I was gonna
Joshua
say the
Van.
thing is for Van, this may be a lucky moment, but he is really good. And it's going to be fascinating to see what he can do with title defenses, Tetsuro Tyra
Oh,
look
stop it. Not nope.
no.
Nope. Time for Eddie's hot take. Here we go.
Okay.
Are you
Okay.
ready for this?
Here it comes.
Are you ready for this?
I'm not, but play it
You're
on me.
not. Okay, here we go. Tyra should not get the title shot. He's coming off of one win and an early stoppage, debatable. Uh, you know,
2 wins. But yes.
is it two?
Yep. So he absolutely dominated a completely overmatched Park Hyun Sung in a fight that never should have been made. And then he fought Brandon Moreno.
Okay. Tyra is not ready for the title shot just yet. Okay. Horiguchi needs the title shot.
Yeah.
Okay, straight to the title shot. I think Van has earned his right to fight a legend, a veteran. That's the fight that needs to happen. So Horiguchi gets the next shot. After that, Manel Kopp, if he beats Brandon Royval next weekend, he needs a title shot. Okay, so Tyra can fight like Steve Urseg or someone like that. He's third in line. I hate to say it. Horiguchi, Manel Kopp, those are the guys that need the title shots.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I don't disagree with you. But I feel like the UFC's already made their positions clear on both Manel Kopp and Kyoji Horiguchi, which is that they put Horiguchi on the undercard against Tajir Ulanbekov for his re-entry to the UFC, which is in no way a power, we're prepping for a Kyoji Horiguchi title run move. I don't know why they did it. It's terrible. They should be putting Kyoji Horiguchi in a title fight. I agree. And then Kopp was all lined up to be a contender, and then he had like that Mokaev fight, and didn't he? Let's see, did he miss weight after that?
No, I
No.
think the UFC just doesn't like him.
Yeah, they just don't like him. that Mokaev fight seems to, I think, have put them in a severely bad place in their mouth. But
Yeah.
it's
But
really bad taste
still,
in their mouth. Yeah.
if this were a meritocracy, which it's not,
Yeah.
Horiguchi, Cop, and then Tyra. That's
Yeah.
the order of operations here. Anything less would be uncivilized.
But even the thing is that the UFC can, using their own rankings, can justify this because they have Tyra. Tyra's going to be ranked 1. He's going to be ranked, or 2, as the top contender under Pantoja after this fight. And then they have Horiguchi and Cop down there swimming in the middle of the pack. So
It's asinine.
I
It's
know.
absolutely asinine.
Especially too, I think, we were talking about this on the Vivi this week. Like, he may not be a star in the US, but Horiguchi is pretty much the biggest name in flyweight MMA right now. He's the only flyweight with any kind of fan base at all out there.
He should get the shot.
He should. So yeah, we've seen people somebody saying Horiguchi, Royval, all that kind of thing.
Royval fights next weekend.
Royval fights next weekend against Cop. So Cop wins that, then he's got as much right to call for a title shot as anybody. Really, honestly, I'm interested to see, because Van is, I think he's got a long future as a very elite fighter, but he is one of the most he has an unfortunate combination of inexperience and lacking obvious athletic dominance. He's fast, he's accurate, hits hard, great cardio, conditioning, toughness, all that. But it's not like John Jones. When John Jones won the title as like a 22 or 23-year-old or whatever he was.
Nah, Van has been in bangers. He's been in competitive fights all the way
Yeah,
through.
but I'm just saying, like, John Jones was a physical force. Like, he was out there crushing. He got there early and stayed there because he was so huge and so physically dominant that even if he lacked the technical depth in some parts of his game, he could make up for it physically. Like, if Van fights Tyra or fights Horiguchi, they're going to be pressing him with grappling games that he was supposed to see tonight against Pantoja.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never seen otherwise, So we really don't know. We don't know what Van can do as a champion. If he's going to be up there long term, I would not be surprised if his first title defense is a loss. But like I say, I'm not worried about it being like, oh, and then he's not going to be elite. No, Van's clearly got a long future as a top fighter in the flyweight division.
Maybe the UFC is still mad at Gooch.
They might. We got somebody mentioned here. Chad mentioned Gooch also pulled out initially on that fight, so it may have, that pushed him down to a prelim. And they don't like fighters that come in with big purse demands. And I'm sure Gooch is getting paid coming out of Ryzen, so they're gonna try to punish him as much as they can on the way to a title shot. But yeah, I agree. You are right. All things considered, Tatsuro Taira had a huge win. He's still a relative unknown and very young. So if he takes a little more time, it's not going to hurt his stock. And Horiguchi is really at the end of his prime. And anything less than putting him in a title shot in the next year is going to feel like a waste.
Yeah. Honestly, I just hope this isn't going to become a reoccurring injury for Pantoja or something.
Yeah.
Like a career ender.
Yes. The way his elbow moved like that, even if it's, not a break as well as a dislocation, it's definitely a dislocation.
At minimum.
But if he's tore a bunch of tendons in there too, like, that joint may never work again.
But look what Shogun did, right? Like he came back from that and won a UFC title. So
True. But yeah, he was also 10 years younger when that happened to him,
true.
you know? So yeah, it's tough because I mean, even if he does come back and is still a very good fighter, like he, you know, his time as champion that might be a permanent end to that legacy. All right, now we'll talk. Got somebody asking, have we talked about the Moreno stoppage on
We are
rematch?
now.
I have no problem with it, but Tatsuro Tyra, Brandon Moreno. Look, is it the worst stoppage I've ever seen? No.
No.
Tatsuro Tyra, his positional lockdown game is one of the craziest I've ever seen in my life. Like the body lock triangle he had on Moreno, like there's no way I can imagine Brandon Moreno getting out of that.
I
No
don't think
amount of
he would have.
no. But I will say Brandon Moreno has never been stopped before. That was early. It wasn't egregious, but it was early. A little early.
A little bit early. It was a little
For a
bit
fighter
early.
who for a former champ who has never been stopped in his whole career, and you're waving it off in the early stages of a TKO, it just feels that little tiny bit wrong.
Fighter safety, right?
I know. Dominic Cruz. Hey, did you see the tweet that it came from Dominic Cruz's account? People are like, "Oh, he must have been hacked," but he was saying that, like in the Pantoja fight, that he wished the ref would let him fight with that injury, and that like a fighter should be able to, should be the one to say that they're done and not the referee. Completely missing that it was Pantoja who very clearly was like, "I'm fucking done. My
Right.
arm is busted. I can't continue," before the ref ever had any idea. Like,
Oh,
so,
Dom.
I know. He's been too close to Rogan for too long. Got that talking point all loaded in the gun. Doesn't matter what the target is, he's firing.
No, it's on speed dial for sure.
Yeah.
But like a little bit of an early stoppage.
Yeah.
But I will say, my whack ass stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Karate Combat and Sam Alvey getting
Yeah.
headkicked into
Yeah.
oblivion in a fight that should have been stopped 2 times before it was. So I would much rather see this than that.
Yes. And like I said, the way Tyra's lockdown position game is, the way that body triangle is locked in, because it's not like Moreno wasn't moving the way that a fighter should be moving. It's just Tyra was a fixture on top of him. It was like a
total
little,
bow restrictor.
yeah.
And here's the thing.
You
If
know.
the fight wasn't stopped then, and let's say Moreno went completely out, we'd all be saying, "Oh, it was stopped
Yeah.
late."
No, I'm not saying it should have been completely out. I'm just saying, like, that somebody mentioned here that he flattened him out immediately before the stop. I think what happened immediately before the stop, it did look like flattening out. I think it was Moreno dropping his hips to try and roll. I don't think it would have been effective, but I do think it was him trying to improve position. But it looked like he was dropping face down to the canvas, which is why the ref stepped in and it's like, no, done.
Which honestly is not intelligently defending yourself.
Yeah, well, we've talked before about how refs aren't actually looking for intelligent defense; they're just looking for activity, basically. But whatever, it's a moot. It long term, it's gonna feel like a moot point. Brandon Moreno gets to say, "I was robbed." Come back confident that he, with a chip on his shoulder, he's already has a championship legacy. That wasn't like we were all champing at the bit to see Brandon Moreno fight Alexandre Pantoja or in another title fight right now. And Tatsuro Tyra looked absolutely great once he stopped trying to kickbox with Brandon Moreno, which was going
And when
pretty
he
well.
wasn't inside of an inverted triangle for 5
Yes.
minutes.
Yes.
Shout out to him though for remaining cool, calm, and collected in that.
Yeah.
That could have gotten Brandon could have finished it.
Yeah.
Like it was
It
a
was on the
risky
wrong side,
position.
but it was a dangerous position. So all right. That so yeah, you're saying Tyra no title
Urseg.
fight.
Yeah, let him strangle Urseg.
Okay, you want to see Tyra Urseg, which yeah, I could see that. Urseg's down. He's down a little ways. It'd be Tyra fighting down. I would also say like if Albazi can come back sometime in the next few months, you could do Tyra Albazi. Or, I would even say more than he could rematch Brandon Moreno. Like,
if I'm Tyra, I'm not doing
I'm not doing that either. If I'm Tyra, I'm just saying I deserve a title shot.
Sure.
I'm just going to sit and wait until I get a title shot.
He's young enough, he could sit and wait.
Yeah, he could.
But again, I already went through the hierarchy.
You already went through the hierarchy. Yeah. I would also, at that point, if that hierarchy did come into play, then if you're Tyra, you campaign for a Mantle Cop fight instead of letting Cop be next in line after somebody else. You say, okay, give me the winner of Cop Royval. I mean, I know he already lost to Royval via split, but that was a pretty controversial split. So, realistically, the winner of Cop Royval would be the fight for him to campaign for if he does get passed over for Horiguchi for a title shot. And for Moreno, let's see.
I don't even fucking know for him.
Right?
I feel like he's done fought everybody.
I will say if the UFC does pass on Horiguchi for a title shot, then Moreno Horiguchi is a really obvious fight to book.
Yeah, or Cop Horiguchi. If they're gonna
do that's
matches.
also Cop Horiguchi. But we're talking
assuming
about
Cop gets past Royval next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or 2 for I think that would be it. That would be like Horiguchi, Cop. Those would be the fights. Because I mean, there's not. He could fight. Well, I mean, Pantoja's out forever, so we've seen him fight Royval a bunch already. And
he's fought Urseg, fought Albazi.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I guess there's Almabayev, but who cares about that?
I know. But I will say it is pretty exciting up at the top of flyweight right now.
It is. There's a lot of options on the table. All right. That brings us to a bantamweight fight. Peyton Talbot, Henry Cejudo. And I got to say more than I mean, Talbot looked great. Absolutely killer performance from him. But I am really fucking impressed by Henry Cejudo in this fight.
Nah, he definitely fought his heart out.
I mean, if this is his retirement fight, this is not an Anthony Smith retirement fight. He fought all the way up to the last minute of the last round, the last second of the last round. He was battling for every last inch that he could get out of that fight. And I love to see it, You love to see. That's the thing. Henry Cejudo, I'm not going to miss his personality. But
I am.
Well, yeah, you've got different taste.
It makes things weird. Like
it
I
does make
appreciate
things
the
weird.
weirdness. Like he comes out kicking the pillows with people's faces on it. Like, it's like when you're trolling on Instagram or something and you see like the cringe videos.
Yeah.
Like the top 5 cringe or whatever. Like I like that. That's fun to look at.
He's got some gimmicks, but as a fighter, the man always showed up. Like every Cejudo fight, he was fighting to entertain, fighting to go to war, fighting to make it as much a spectacle as possible. And this fight was no different, you know? You didn't go out there and just try to wrestle Peyton Talbot through the canvas all night and hold him against the fence. Like, he came out there looking to throw down with him.
He tried to win.
He tried to win. And then Peyton Talbot hit that nifty little inside trip. He was
that
psyched.
was his championship right there.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him with like a fake gold Olympic medal around his neck.
He should 100% rock that gimmick. But yeah, I love to see a fighter be that excited about something too, where like they know how special it is to do that.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that was really, Peyton Talbot, wrestling game looked dialed in, absolutely on point. But the thing that you've got to be afraid of if you're looking, if you're another elite fighter in the division, looking at him as somebody you're going to have to go through or stand in front of on his way to the belt, is that when Henry Cejudo tried to make this fight an all-out brawl, he only made it more Peyton Talbot's fight. Like,
oh yeah, Talbot tried to do the Holloway. Last 10 seconds, he gave Henry his moment. Salute.
Talbot loves a war. There are a few fighters I've ever seen who are more in their element in the middle of just an absolutely all-out balls to the wall scrap. And like I say, if you're Corey Sandhagen, which is the fight I would love to see Peyton Talbot in, like, that kind of shit has to be like, God damn it, that's going to be fucking exhausting. Because, like, you try to go out and just be like, okay, I'm going to big brother this guy. I'm going to really sit down and put the screws to him. And that's just what he wants, He's never having more fun than when you are trying to make the fight more violent.
Which is why I think he should fight Vinicius Oliveira next.
For your sake and mine, I agree. For his own sake, you skip that. Go fight Corey Sandhagen or Song Yadong or something like that. But no, yeah, that Vinicius Oliveira fight absolutely needs to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah. Props to Cejudo, though, man.
Yeah.
I think he went out like a boss.
And props to him for taking a fight like that, too. Like, as your retirement fight, you don't need to be taking a fight like that. That's all heart on his side.
I think he did it because they're cool. Like,
yeah,
he used to teach or train or coach Talbot back in the day. So it's a passing of the torch kind of thing. It's like keep the money in house. So tons of respect for that. And I even liked Dana White in this moment. He was like, Cejudo's all, kneeling by the cage talking to Dana. Cejudo's like, fight of the night, and it's not, but, Dana was like, I'll give you 50 G's anyways.
He didn't just give him 50 G's. If Ali Abdelaziz is to be believed, I can't believe I'm just saying that out loud, but please, assuming Cejudo's dirtbag manager, who lies constantly, is to be believed, the UFC paid Cejudo his win money as well as his show money.
That's dope.
Which, with him is going to be at least 100, 150, maybe $200,000.
Love to see it, honestly.
Yeah, no, he deserves
good old-fashioned locker room bonus.
The win loss or the win show money thing is complete bullshit from the beginning. So anytime a fighter can get both, they should. It's like you take less damage to win a fight. They're just cutting your pay, or to lose a fight, they're just cutting your pay in half. So yeah, I'm glad Cejudo got paid. Maybe he won't retire. Somebody's seeing he kept the gloves on. He ain't retiring. Maybe he goes off to BKFC or something like that. I don't know, but
I think at minimum, if you can become a champion, you should get on that Anderson Silva tip where there's no more show win.
Yeah,
money. You just get paid to fight.
That was the thing DC always did. When the UFC was disclosing purses still, you would always see Cormier, any fight he was in, whatever it was, $500,000.
Yeah.
You had show agreements, I'm sure, on side letter agreements on the side, I'm sure, to pay other things for pay-per-views or whatever. But if he won a fight, if he lost a fight, $500,000.
Yeah, I think that should be at minimum.
Yes.
It should be the standard, in my
It
opinion.
should be.
But we can start with it being just the championship pay.
Yeah.
Because pay-per-views are done.
Yeah. So yeah, next for Talbot. You
Vinicius
say
Oliveira.
Oliveira. I also Corey Sandhagen would be just such an obvious have to have happen fight. I'd watch I'd watch him in any fight. I'll watch him fight Marlon Vera. I'll watch him fight, any of those kinds of fights. So, all right. Yeah, okay. We just saw a report here that apparently, according to the UFC, Pantoja is listed as a shoulder injury, which, that was not a shoulder that he was holding, and it was not a shoulder that clearly moved out of its socket.
I mean, both can be true.
Yeah, it can be a shoulder injury as well, but I would still assume that the elbow is wrecked as well.
Which means he'll probably be out for even longer.
Yeah.
That sucks.
If ever there's a joint, and I can tell you from experience that once you injure it, it just never fucking heals right and works right ever again, it's your shoulder.
Man, so unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to a light heavyweight battle. And you know what? It wasn't exactly the way I'd hoped, but I still feel a little blessed on this one. Jan Blachowicz, Bogdan Gushkov. And I went in picking Blachowicz on this.
I picked him too.
And I'm just like, he may not be fun anymore, but he knows how to jab. He knows how to low kick. He might even wrestle a little. And Gushkov is just not good outside of those big moments. And lo and behold, Gushkov got a big enough moment to nearly kill Blachowicz, to kill Jan. And Jan won the other two rounds. So I'm happy with the draw. That feels like the right decision. Feels like the right scoring. And he does, at this point, much like all respect to Blachowicz, all respect to Glover, there is a point where you're just getting too old, though.
It is light heavyweight, but yeah.
I don't want to see him go out and get 10-8'd in any round that he gets, that goes poorly for him,
I didn't give it a 10-8 round.
No?
No, I think
Jan won the fight?
Yep. Sure did.
He spent a lot of time getting beat on from top position to not get a 10-8.
I don't think it was that bad.
Let me see.
He went for a heel hook. Like, I don't think the fight was close to being stopped.
I think the fight was real close to being stopped. I don't know.
Nah. So Olivi said that it was a shoulder dislocation with spontaneous reduction. I don't know what that means. But essentially, his shoulder was dislocated but went back into place on its own. But
no, we saw that fucking elbow. It doesn't move like that. There's no way. Blachowicz did spend 4 minutes controlled in that round and got outlanded 3-1 in significant strikes. I think it's a 10-8 round.
I mean, I'm fine with it being a 10-8 and score it that way, but
otherwise, love to see the draw. I don't know that I have.
I think it was cool to see Gushkov go 3 rounds.
Sure.
Yeah. Have to fight tired, have to fight a veteran, He held his own. But he definitely lost 2 rounds tonight.
Yeah, no question.
You got to do an instant rematch.
I don't know. I'd rather see him fight like. I mean, I know Jamal Hill is out with like knee surgery and stuff, but I'd rather see him fight somebody like Hill or Rakic or something. I don't know. I also just don't really want to see Jan fight anymore right now. At this point, like it's not enough fun to watch him when he's winning. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But just watching an old guy, bang it out with someone not quite as
Yeah.
old.
I mean, I guess you could do another fight that would them rematching would have some meaning. I don't think he's ever fought Volkan Oezdemir, so I guess you could do like something like that,
That's crazy.
right? So
Let him fight Ankalaev again.
no. Do Jan Oezdemir.
He hasn't won since 2022.
I know I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm just thinking. Do Gushkov versus Walker. There you go. That's a fight I'd like to see.
You must hate Johnny Walker.
I mean,
talk about someone I don't even want to watch fight again. And not because he's not fun. He's a ton of fun, but like just for his own health.
Yeah, he gets deaded every single time he loses. All right, we got a lot of other fights to burn through. Manuel Torres, Grant Dawson. Love to see it. Love to be so right.
I love to be so wrong.
I came into them just like, you know what? You know who Grant Dawson has never beat before? Somebody that hits hard. Just never has. And I was like, it was a vibe pick at that point. I'll admit it, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm not trusting Grant Dawson to fight. Like Manuel Torres is not he is a defenseless fighter in many ways. Although he looked honestly a lot sharper tonight, a lot more mindful of his range and position.
Who, Torres?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he was so reserved. He sat back and let Dawson just spam these combos, and was just like, okay, waited for his opening, and then boom.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, Torres is even beyond that. He's so fast and so powerful. It's like all he needs is one opportunity to crush Dawson. Love to see it. So, and no hate to Dawson, if whatever, he seems fine. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
I could have also, like, if Dawson just went out and like insta subbed him, I would have been like, oh, okay, of course.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have been surprised, but
no, this is great. Torres is a ton of fun.
He is.
Let him fight Fiziev or Alvarez or someone who's going to stand with him.
Yeah, let's see. What do we got in the division here at lightweight? Because Alvarez, I think, has moved up.
Oh, did he? For good?
Yeah, I think he's a permanent welterweight now. He had a lot of weight struggles just because he's a fucking giant. He could fight Alexander Hernandez. Hernandez has been smoking people lately.
Yeah. Him or Fiziev? I think Fiziev's the funner fight.
Well, Fiziev is booked now.
Is he?
Yeah, they booked him tonight. He's booked against Mauricio Hufi. They announced it on the broadcast.
The fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck yes. When is that?
That is for UFC 325 in Sydney, February 1st.
Okay.
So.
Banger.
Yeah. I actually, I don't like to book fights from between guys off the same night, but you could do Manuel Torres, Jalen Turner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes a
I
ton of sense.
That'd be a killer
They both
fight.
lost to Bahamondes.
Mm-hmm.
Book it.
All right. Chris Duncan.
Although I think I
What?
have some better fights for Jalen Turner, but we'll get there.
Okay. Before that, Chris Duncan, Terrence McKinney.
I don't think I've ever seen a fight go exactly how I envisioned, like this one did. McKinney comes out, Fists of Fury, has fucking Duncan on skates, Duncan being tough as nails, guts it out, rocks McKinney, ends up locking up a submission. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen here.
It is. I mean, this is the most predictable Terrence McKinney fight that he's ever had, and the only fights that Terrence McKinney has ever had are the most predictable fights on the face of the planet. Like, there is no fighter that is harder to deal with for the first 2 minutes of a fight, or easier to deal with for all times after the first 2 minutes of a fight.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it is
impressive.
insane because he is still, like, you could see it from Duncan in this fight as well. I don't think that there's ever been a fighter with as much natural speed as Terrence McKinney. Like, literally, he steps out into the cage and starts throwing shots. Every single person he fights is like, I have never experienced somebody this fast before. He's a shock every single time. But he also fights like a cat at the vet, Like, it's just pouring all his energy into those first moments. And then the moment anybody starts to catch up with him, it just all collapses. And man, like, there was only Chris Duncan was only 5% alive. I mean, have you seen Princess Bride? I know you don't watch any movies.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. When they're like, oh, he's only mostly dead. Mostly dead is partially alive. Like,
Right.
Chris Duncan was that level of dead in this fight. And that, like, 5% alive was literally all it took to go from losing to winning in the space of 30 seconds. It's insane. Like, he was out on his feet 30 seconds before he choked Terrence McKinney, and Terrence McKinney is tapping.
And we've seen this from Chris Duncan before.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
seen him badly hurt and come back to win by submission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is just that dude.
He really is.
This was great.
Absolutely insane fight. I love what Chris Duncan is doing. The UFC should be pushing him further up the division after a win like this. I don't know.
Oh, I got a sneaky good fight for him.
Oh, what's that?
Drakkar Klose.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Somebody like Drakkar Klose, Kyle Nelson just coming off a win over Matt Frivola.
Chris Padilla got that
Chris
win over
Padilla.
Bonfim.
Yeah. Duncan is a dude who, when he got to the UFC, I was like, okay, he's going to have some fun brawls and then he's going to be gone. And it'll be fun for a minute, but whatever. And now here he is, and he's 6-1, and it just feels like he is getting better every fight, and I'm enjoying it.
It's a lot of fun. I'm a fan. I'm
Yeah.
officially a Chris Duncan fan.
All right, that brings us to women's flyweight bout: Macy Barber, Karine Silva, and
some shitty officiating going on in this one.
Yeah, definitely. The ref being like, "That's a glancing foul," whatever. Like,
motherfucker, it's a foul.
It's a foul. If
it grazes the cup on a low blow, it's still a fucking low blow.
Yeah. And she's up there doing the stanky leg. Like,
yeah, the ref is saying, stop it. That was a glancing blow.
It's like, come on,
It's
man.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
It really is.
Like, at minimum, give the fighter the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And I don't
Like, you
think, like,
really think she's out there faking a stanky leg?
no.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. But at least she shook it off and then came back right out and
Oh, it pissed her the fuck off.
yeah.
It pissed her the fuck off. She went ham after that.
Yeah. Good performance from Barber, from Carini Silva, you know. These are the problems that have always been there that she's been able to fight around. She's just kind of got a funky game. She's a good athlete. She's a dangerous grappler, but she's not a positional fighter at all. She does not make a lot of round-winning decisions.
My favorite part of this whole fight was, which this might even be the worst fight on the card, but my favorite moment of this fight is in the third round. Barber standing over Silva after Silva drops for the heel hook, doesn't get it. Barber's on top of her. She fucking stomps her ankle. Which is illegal, but still, it's like, fuck you. Bam.
Hey, foul for a foul. You know MMA refs, they're not going to call an ankle stomp.
She put a cigarette out on that fucking ankle. She's like, I love to see it. But the ref was all over that foul.
Yeah.
Might need to investigate this guy.
Yeah. No, that was Mark Smith, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he was also the ref in the Tyra Moreno stoppage. And this modern era of UFC gambling,
yeah,
you got to watch out with these refs here.
He might need to be investigated.
But solid win for Macy Barber. Dangerous fight for her. I think a fight that she really felt like she probably had to take, given all the struggles she's had lately.
Not only had to take, but had to win.
Yeah.
Coming off that Blanchfield botch. Needed to get this win.
But she should probably be campaigning for a fight with Manon Fiorot at this point. Because
she's not getting one with Blanchfield.
She's not getting one with Blanchfield, which would be the fight to take. Blanchfield already lost to Fiorot. And Barber already lost to Grasso. And Grasso's coming off a loss. I mean, she could try to get it back, but I don't think Grasso cares. So probably Blanchfield Fiorot is the fight to book. Or, I mean, Barber Fiorot, rather.
Right. But yeah, probably the worst fight on the card.
Yeah. And for Carini Silva, lots of options. Miranda Maverick, Tracy Cortez, Jasmine Jasudavicius, all coming off losses, all ranked right next to her. All would be really fun, solid fights. So take your pick. All right, that brings us to a lightweight bout. Fares Ziam, Nazim Sadikov.
I could not believe the betting line on this one. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand why Sadikov was getting so much respect. Like, I just didn't see it at all. I didn't give him a chance in this one.
I picked Ziam. I thought this was a bad fight for Sadikov or for Ziam to take. And it felt like a trap fight to me because Sadikov has no reputation at all and doesn't really belong in there with Ziam, as Ziam showed. But he is a real physical force, a real athletic specimen. It's the kind of guy that would have a chance at making something fluky happen for a fight where Ziam is clearly at a position in his career where he should be in a borderline top 15 fights. And he's basically fighting like early prelim fodder, you know?
I just feel like Ziam is far more proven, like you're saying.
He's much more proven. I still worry that Ziam is not like the highest caliber of athlete to fight at like a real elite level because he's technically clearly way up there. And this fight even showed that he's far enough technically up the totem pole now for me to feel like he absolutely needs to be fighting top 15 guys, because to just go out and like Nazim Sadikov was never in this fight.
No.
This was never, wasn't even like, oh, Ziam is better, yada, 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 whatever. It's like, no, Ziam mopped the floor with him.
In two different ways. Schooled him on the ground in the first, hit him with a double elbow. He rocked him with the jab first, and then double elbowed him. And then Herzog stopped the fight after the bell, even though they called it at 4:59 for some weird reason. But, or maybe it's because, I don't know, an over one round or something prop maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
Herzog is the ref at like the most being associated with like UFC fight fixing now. So.
Allegedly. But Herzog was, he was in that Cejudo song match where for some reason he was like convincing Cejudo to just make it to the bell for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Suspect. But I do think it was a good stoppage.
This was a great stoppage. I will say that. Like,
you can't be saved by the bell in MMA.
Can't be saved by the bell, and Sadikov could not get back to his corner without help. That was clear. Like, he was done. And a minute would not have put him back in that fight and in any shape to continue.
No, it's just weird they timed it at 4:59.
Yeah. You could time it at 5 minutes of round 2. That would be totally legit and fine.
That seems more proper.
Yep.
But yeah, Ziam, man, the man's dangerous. Let him fight like Alexander Hernandez.
I mean, I think he should be fighting like, he should be fighting Bahamondes or, I mean, or Moicano or something like that, Like those are the fights.
Moicano's really interesting.
Honestly, like Grant Dawson now doesn't deserve to be in the top 15. Like they got to change over this top 15 is what I'm saying. Because like you look at the bottom of this top 15, Renato Moicano, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, Grant Dawson, Mauricio Hufi, and Ignacio Bahamondes, none of them coming off a win. And in some cases, feeling like it's been forever since they were in a really competitive high-level fight. Looking at you, Chandler.
Let him fight Torres.
Yeah, I mean, you
said move.
You could be Torres. It could be Bahamondes. It could be Moicano. I just think he deserves to be in the it should be the borderline of the elite, otherwise fights with like
Torres should be ranked after this.
Torres should be ranked. I agree. I mean, I could also see like, he hasn't been as good lately, but like a fight with Drew Dober now with Dober coming off that win over Kyle Prepolak.
I got something better for Dober coming up.
Okay. Is this the Jalen Turner tease?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
It might be.
Bruno Ferreira, Marvin Vettori. Man,
I fucked up. I picked Vettori here.
I did not. And
I'm not picking people that miss weight.
I get that. And I also get that in every single technical category, Marvin Vettori should be a better fighter than Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira is one of the most like weirdo, self-limiting, trash in any division but middleweight games out there. It's like playing guard grappling or throwing single power hooks, and that is it. Does no positional, dominates no position in the cage, has no pace, is tiny and brick shaped, looks like a little Lego man out there. But Marvin Vettori fights like he does not like fighting at all anymore. Like Joe Rogan, I gotta call Joe Rogan out for this because it's really fucking bullshit, and he brings it up all the time like it's some sort of magic chant or something. I don't know, but having a close member of your family or a loved one or a close friend die does not make most people better at anything. That is not something under which most people thrive. Losing somebody close to you does not make you like, oh, it's like, oh, I wouldn't have been so good at fighting, but my brother died, and now I'm, it's not how it. It's
I think it
not
can
how
make
it
you fight.
works.
I think it can make you fight harder.
I do not, and I do not think Marvin Vettori is fighting harder after losing his brother.
No, I don't either, but I think it can. Like I've seen there's been plenty of fights where people have lost people like leading up and they fought just hard as fuck.
I bet every single one of them, in fact, would rather have the person back in their lives
Well,
than.
duh.
It's
Duh.
not it's not good
It's not like they're
motivation
killing
to.
them in order to fight better.
No, but it's not good motivation to do anything. It doesn't work. It can be a potential thing that, like, you don't know how. Basically, what I'm saying is you don't know how it's going to affect anybody. And you should never try to assume that it's going to be a positive motivator in their life.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, the
Sure.
most realistic reaction to somebody close to them dying I've ever seen out of an MMA fighter is Khabib quitting in the prime of his career after his dad died. Just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. That was my motivation. Like that's how most people respond to that kind of grief. So it's just I got to throw that out there because Marvin
It is a weird thing to
Vettori.
bring up, though.
Yeah,
Not the weirdest thing that's been brought up, but it's definitely a weird talking point.
it is, and Marvin Vettori seems like he's in a career tailspin right now, and it sucks because he's
Well,
not old.
he quit improving. He doesn't. So it's either he's plateaued or he's getting worse.
He's getting worse. I think what happened, honestly, is that King's MMA is a gym that was really all about pace and pressure and being on the front foot and being hard-nosed. And they really put that into Marvin, and it turned him into a title contender because he was so durable that he could lean on that pressure and aggression in a way that almost nobody else could. And it wasn't enough to get him to be champion. The champions were better than him. That sucks. It's an honest, unfortunate fact of life. In fact, sports. It's part of why I love sports is that you can't just work hard and have it all be magic. Like,
Right.
there are going to be people who also work hard and are better than you. That's just.
Well, Joshua Van got a little bit of that tonight, but
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
But that's just the way it is. It's like,
yeah,
he got to the top of the mountain, and Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker were simply better than him, and that sucks.
and I take back what I said about the Barber fight. This was the worst fight on the card.
And I think after that he moved on. He's like, okay, well, I got to change gyms to get better. And it seems like that has removed all of the pressure and the process from his game, and how he's just out there floating around in rounds, not really knowing what he should do. And it's not like he was ever some technical savant.
And not like a real power puncher either.
No. So just going out and being like, oh, I'll go 1-for-1 in middle distance with somebody. It doesn't win him fights. Plus, I think he looks like he's severely unmotivated and, looks like a guy who is struggling out there. So it sucks. I liked Marvin Vettori when at the prime of his career, he put on some fun fights and he was entertaining. And right now, it just seems like he's convincing himself to go out and fight, which
I think he peaked with the backwards shorts.
Yeah.
It's like peak Vettori.
Can't come back from that. All right, that brings us to I guess for Bruno Ferreira next. I mean,
I don't care.
Yeah, he's making himself a fun action fighter at middleweight, but whatever. Moving on. We got more to get through. We're finally at Jalen Turner, Edson Barboza, a fight that I did not think should have happened, but then it ended up being Edson Barboza's retirement fight, which then was like, you got to give Edson Barboza like a better service, like get him higher up a card where he can be featured more prominently if this is going to be your send off.
Hey, he fought someone who's coming out of retirement.
Yeah. And he just got the brakes beat off him.
Yeah, he should have fought Jim Miller.
Yeah. There were other fights that Edson Barboza could have taken that would have been more fun than this. This was such a weird question mark of, does Turner still have it? We know Edson Barboza doesn't. What kind of fight is this? And it just ended up being a complete thrashing.
No, I mean, Turner, man, he did his thing. He didn't screw it. He didn't screw himself. You know,
No,
he didn't. Once he had him hurt, he kept him hurt.
Although I got to say, coming back from retiring because you just don't feel like you enjoy hurting people after that Bobby Green fight, it's got to then feel really weird to come back and absolutely have to brutalize some old man to get a win. Like, you could see Turner seemed like he was shook up after this too. Like, Edson Barboza's over there, blood pouring out his face, all swollen up, and he's like comforting Turner, like, "No, it's all right, man." It's like,
right,
you shouldn't have to be the one coming to him to like offer support.
It's the hurt business.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough when you don't like hurting people.
Yeah. So weird.
And the thing
fight.
is, like, Turner's the healthy one. Like, that's a healthy mindset.
It is. It's a healthy. It's just maybe then you shouldn't be making your money fighting people in a cage.
But he's good at it.
Yeah, he is.
And he found Christ.
Apparently.
So good for him.
We can get that. We can take down that missing persons report now.
Okay, so here we go.
All right.
This is who should fight Drew Dober next.
Jalen Turner.
Drew Dober. Come on. Now.
Hey, as a fight that hasn't happened somehow, absolutely. I would also be down to see
Mike Davis would also be a good opponent. Two
Jalen.
Guys who don't like hurting people. Turner versus Davis.
Yeah, there you go. I'd also be down though to see him fight Chris Duncan or Manuel Torres or whatever. Like, as long as he's gonna be out here fighting, I want to see him in violent fights. I'm sorry, Jalen. I know you don't want to hurt people, but I only want to see you in the bloodiest fights possible. So,
yeah.
All right. Before that, Ivo Barnivsky versus Ibo Aslan. And
classic Joe Silva booking.
Yeah, that's a Joe Silva booking if there ever was one. These two dudes look like Ninja Turtle villains come to in human form. And they just had the dumbest dumb guy fight that you can ever. I loved
every second of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were like 6 knockdowns in 90 seconds.
It's not everything. Drops on both sides, haymakers, quick finish. You know who the real hero is in this fight? The referee.
Yes, he is.
He almost stopped it so many times.
Salute to Mark Goddard. This was a great job.
Salute to him, man. He's the unsung hero of this craziness.
They only credited
what won this for Iwo is the fact that when he throws his overhand right, he ducks his head off the center line. Ibo does not.
No. Yeah, they're only credited with 3 knockdowns in 90 seconds, but that feels low. I think Barnivsky by himself got 3 knockdowns in there.
Yeah, I think he did too.
It
was fun. Let him fight Zach Reese next.
Yeah. Sure.
Who won fight of the night?
Let's see.
This could have gotten fight of the night.
Fight of the night went to Dvalishvili versus Jan, which
fine.
Fair enough.
Fine.
And then performance of the night went to Ivo Barnivsky and Manuel Torres.
That's it.
Yeah, they needed to hand out a lot more bonuses than that.
Yeah, that's wild. So many first round finishes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ziam deserved one,
Turner
and
deserved one. Mansour deserved one. Chris Duncan and Terrence McKinney deserved one. Tyra,
yeah.
nah.
All right, I didn't actually see the first two fights, Malik Tricoli or Myron Santos, Muhammad Naimov. So if you have some thoughts, let them go.
Mansour just wiped the floor with this guy.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
surprised.
and as Tricoli was standing up, Mansour locked up a standing guillotine. Wisely did not jump guard with it. Got the tap. Let him fight Bo Nickel next. But I will say Mansour was super fun on the microphone
Yeah,
afterwards.
I
He
did see
gives me
his.
total Jameis Winston vibes. Like big time Jameis Winston vibes. And the first fight, I really came in at the tail end of it. I didn't see how it went. I just saw the finish. So
Yeah.
no comment on that one.
All right. Well, at this point, I think I'm too wiped out to do a bonus. So, and we're just gonna give it a 5. It's a 5s all up and down the card, like right.
Yeah, it's a 5. You never give
It's a
cards
5.
5s, but you're giving this one a 5.
It's a 5. This is
The
what a
last
card needs to
pay-per-view
be.
ever is a
Yep.
5.
And otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at the Zane Simon. You can find Eddie on Twitter at the Eddie Mercado. You can find me over on Blue Sky and Substack at Zane Simon. You can find Eddie at the Eddie Mercado, wherever else he
Everywhere.
might be. And remember, we're down on Substack for the Vivi and 6th round. There's a link below. Help us out, support us there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.